into the future where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
You know, I don't expect him to be better, but if you could just pretend to be better, like, don't bother trying. We all know you're not better, but just don't be so open and flaunting with your D-bagginess. I am, of course, talking about Donald Trump Jr. You know what I'm talking about, right? Have you seen it? Like, what he's doing? He's going into full-on 16-year-old girl mode following the announcement of his divorce. Hashtag revenge body. Have you seen the picture, Travis? Or the pictures?
I know he's a D-bag. I haven't seen the picture. What specifically is the picture, though? Like, I can't imagine.
Well, they're pictures, and you know how he was porking around with Aubrey O'Day, the female singer from Puff Daddy's Making the Band, and also I think she was a contestant on The Apprentice. I could be making that part up, but he was porking around on his wife with her. Apparently they wanted to have kids, and now Vanessa Trump and Donald Trump Jr. are getting a divorce. So what would be the dignified way to go through your divorce in a very sort of like trying time when, you know, the public was in general something that was going to harm your family, and prying eyes would be no good for anyone whatsoever? You'd probably try and keep to yourself, right? If you're sort of a public figure, maybe, you know, if you were the son of literally the most famous human being on the face of planet Earth, you would perhaps try and dial it back a notch when you're going through something like a divorce and kind of stay inside and avoid people and try and preserve a little bit of dignity when you've been busted doing something that is decidedly beneath the station of the son of the leader of the free world. You would probably try and keep it on the DL, right? Whatever the hell it was you were doing. Or am I just... That would just be my gut instinct. Is that what you would do?
Yeah, you would try and lay low for a bit, or appear to at least be like supportive of the family the best that you could. Also, like, let me ask you this: you go to the gym sort of regularly, right? Like you're oh yeah,
you go to the gym. But I also follow you on Instagram. Where can other people follow you on Instagram if they want to?
Travi Go Lightly.
Mm-hmm. At Travi Go Lightly on Instagram. Travi with an IE,
yes,
not a Y at the end.
That's correct.
If you go to your Instagram feed, you do not see one piece of evidence that you've ever attended a gymnasium.
No, I don't. I'm not posting videos or pictures of me in the gym. I mean, there's just none on there. There's none on there.
Yeah, well, that's where you and Donald Trump Jr., fresh out of the announcement of his divorce, are completely different. Donald Trump Jr., who's 40, shared a photo of himself this past Saturday, just gone by, in a gym, looking like he just, you know, gotten through a pretty grueling workout. Nothing like a hashtag CrossFit workout in 100% humidity. Hit it hard today. That, like, honestly, that's like, really?
Oh,
this is
God.
what you got? Hashtag gains, bro. Hashtag revenge body. Hashtag getting it. Hashtag Trump life.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, so having let the entirety of the world know that he is going to the gym occasionally, Donald Trump Jr. then let the world know that he was spiffing up his haircut. A couple hours later, you know, because... And by the way, there's a rule with Instagram. There's a rule with Instagram, and that is you're not really supposed to post more than one picture a day, otherwise people find it obnoxious. Mere hours after hitting the gym and documenting it for all of the Instagrams to bear witness to, Donald Trump Jr. Posted a shot of himself in a chair getting a haircut.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, bear in mind, these are the postings of a 40-year-old man. Forget the fact that he's son of the president of these United States of America and leader of the free world, but he is a 40-year-old man. And he posted, "Time to chop off the mullet. Hashtag haircut."
He's kind of like lonely right now, it seems like, doesn't it? I mean, that's like begging for attention.
Now, I am not, like, bear in mind, it's my job to pay attention to what goes on with social media. And this is a feature of Instagram I knew existed, but I don't actually know how to use it. Maybe one day I'll use it, bearing in mind that it's my job to do this sort of thing. But, you know, you can highlight your stories on Instagram with different folders at the top of your page. Have you seen this?
No, I have not. I'm terrible at Instagram.
Bear in mind the 40-year-old man who put in his Instagram story, time to chop the mullet off, #haircut. He put the pictures in a highlight folder on Instagram labeled, wait for it, me stuff.
Let's start the show. Real radio.
104.1. Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
So, you don't have any kind of evidence on your Instagram feed that you ever go to the gym. Do you ever, like, sneakily take a picture of yourself in the gym, you know, just for your own personal, like, oh man, I'm such a dude, bro, getting gains, yo. Like, do you ever, like, document that at all?
No, like, the only thing that I can even think of, like, a time that I would take a picture in the gym is, I'm trying to think, if somebody's like, hey, where are you at, or something, it would be just, like, to a single person. It wouldn't be, like, broadcast to the world. I mean, not that I'm against
And this would be an answer to a question, where are you
exactly.
at? And by the way, it's just, bear in mind, we are radio goofballs. We are supposed to be undignified professionally for a living. But I could just not imagine a scenario in which I post a selfie of me drenched in sweat talking about what a great workout it was I just had. You know, like I would never, I would be afraid someone would see me taking the picture of myself in the gym and be like, that guy's a loser. Yeah. Like, it's one of those things where I would be ashamed of myself if I did it. It's like, it's so sort of like silly and self-absorbed to me. And like, I understand other people do it and I don't really have a problem with it because it's sort of become the accepted new normal. But when a 40-year-old guy like Donald Trump Jr., fresh on the heels of his divorce, immediately posts pictures of his workout and his haircut and starts hashtagging things like CrossFit and talking about how hard he hit it today. Just, what the... You know, when you do these things, people can see it, right? Like, you know, when you say these things, people can hear you and we can see this stuff. It's not just, you know, these aren't little things that this wasn't in your head. It's just, it's weird. And then he put the pictures in a highlight folder labeled me stuff. Like, this is a 40-year-old man. Me stuff is a folder of photos on MySpace that a 16-year-old girl had back in 2006. Like, what the hell are you thinking? What the hell are you thinking? Like again, I don't expect you to be better, but if you could just pretend to be better so that we on the international stage, we're not a universal laughing stock in America, that would be freaking fantastic. And I like the people that are a fan of Donald Trump or Donald Trump Jr. or the Trump family in general, like, that's great. You're totally allowed to do that. And you know what? I'm not a hater in the way that a lot of other folks are. I'm not willing him to lose. I would like for things to go well during the Donald Trump presidency. I've got tremendous reservations about how he carries himself and all of the above. But it's just like, this is a bad look. It's embarrassing for every last one of us here in America. You know, it's embarrassing for him all by itself. But it's just like, do we really need to be made that much more of a laughing stock? Answer, no, we don't.
I think even more embarrassing than the gym pictures is the me stuff.
Me stuff.
That's the big one for me. The gym pictures, I can give that a pass. I don't have any on my Instagram. Will I in the future? I don't know. I never really thought about it. Like, maybe, I don't know. I never planned on it. I don't know. It seems kind of goofy, but I'm not against it. The me stuff? Am I ever going to have a folder named me stuff? Maybe now I will. Like, I think that is just so stupid.
Me stuff.
Oh my God. That's just amazing.
It's so weird. It's so strange. It's so unbelievably jaw-droppingly awkward for all of America.
It is. Stuff. It is. It's like, hey, what are you doing later today? You want to hang out or do you got stuff going on? Well, I do have a few things going on. Like what? You know, me stuff.
Me stuff. What sort of me stuff? Well, I'm going to hashtag get a haircut or get a hashtag haircut. And then I'm going to do some hashtag CrossFit at 100% humidity. Got to hit it hard today. Gains, bro. Gains. Trump gains.
Oh,
and you know what? It's funny because I see lots of people post fitnessy stuff on Instagram. And, you know, I actually kind of admire some of it. Like, you know what I actually sort of do appreciate when, like, people that used to be fat or thin, whatever extreme they're battling back from, post like Transformation Tuesday. Like, oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. I like seeing people that have made progress. I find that to be vaguely inspiring. I think that's sort of okay. But when people are just like, look at what I'm doing right now, I'm so freaking buff. Like, I'm just like, oh, come on, man.
The other thing is, like, I don't know that too many people look at Trump Jr. and look at him as if he's like some sort of workout guy.
A real human being that matters too? No, I don't think they do.
That as well. But, like, it's one thing if you follow people that you know are in the gym all the time and that work out a lot. And you're like, oh, that's a guy who works out a lot. Trump Jr.?
It's not like Donald Trump Jr. is going to become a fitness blogger all of a sudden, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I'm Donald Trump Jr. and I discovered after my divorce I had several pounds to lose and I wanted to reveal a new, better version of myself. Follow me on my fitness journey. Like, that's not him. That's just him going like, midlife crisis, gains, bro.
It's just weird, man.
It's so freaking awkward. I mean, like, basically what I'm trying to cover here is there might have been times where you, dear listener, posted pictures of yourself on the gym. I am not judging you in the same way I'm judging Donald Trump Jr. for posting his stuff. His stuff is entirely, again, his stuff is so sort of midlife crisis-y, so I'm just getting out of a relationship-y, and so stuff that you should just leave the hell alone when you are going through a divorce and you have young children and you are an incredibly public person. When you have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old, you need to be setting a better example. Oh, and there's that whole thing where I'd like if you made us less of a laughingstock on the world stage here in America. Okay, thanks. Integrity gains, bro. Money making, skills on the mic, you get paid every day, and you're part of the battle, just better act like you know.
For more stimulation and less irritation, 9 out of 10 doctors choose KPRC AM 950, Houston's more stimulating talk radio.
Don't get the blues, get all the news. We mean all of you guys out there in Radio Land. All aboard!
He's back. AD on the radio.
Give it up, yeah. Give it up, yeah.
So, just days after it was announced that Donald Jr. and Vanessa Trump were ending their marriage, news broke that he had it. Like, and by the way, this was a suspicion. When everybody found out that he was getting divorced, everybody thought it was sort of like financial protection against some sort of indictment. Like, she would take half the money and then that way their savings would be, you know, a little bit more secure. Like, that's what people thought. And as it turns out, no, they're really getting a divorce. He was really having an affair. Like,
awkward.
yeah, it's interesting. What a strange, morally ambiguous sliding scale we've discovered here. Like, how dare you? He's not getting a fake divorce to protect his assets. He had a real live affair with a real live singer from a real live reality show. How dare you attack his unbesmirchable integrity? When he says he had an affair, he had an affair. But yeah, as previously reported, just days after it was announced that Donald Jr. and his former model of a wife were ending their marriage, news broke that he'd had an affair with Celebrity Apprentice contestant and star of Puff Daddy's Making the Band contestant, Aubrey O'Day. And had wanted to have a kid, too. Yeah, there's just kid gains, bro. He's got so many kids already. Like, he's got 5. How can you be... And you know what's interesting? Like, if we are to believe the Stormy Daniels hype, Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump was it after she'd had the kid or while she was pregnant? What was it? What was the deal?
It was right after she had Barron.
Right. Yeah. So the idea was that Donald Trump Jr. had the affair with Aubrey O'Day while his wife was pregnant, and that O'Day and Donald Jr.'s relationship was serious enough to where they wanted to he wanted to get her knocked up as well. He'd like, more of me in the world. Child gains, bro. First, let me take a selfie.
It's funny though, talking about the Instagram pictures. Do you remember when Chris Pratt posted the Instagram pictures, like when he was getting in the gym, and when he posted it, he was even kind of shy about it. Do you remember that?
You know, you bring up a very compelling point. Donald Trump Jr. wasted no time in getting in the gym and being like, hit it hard today, #CrossFit gains, bro. Chris Pratt, the guy who plays Star-Lord, the superhero in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, used to be tremendously overweight. Like, he was obese. He was like having some serious health problems. He played Andy on Parks and Recreation. And when it was funny because he said that he was getting all these laughs as a fat guy and he really loved it. But then when he wasn't working, he was like miserable and his health was failing. And he even said he got to the point where he was impotent. He was so fat that like, yeah. So he had some like really serious health problems to overcome. And it sounds like a certain type of some sort of mental obstacles that he had to hop over as well, because he was like getting all these accolades as a fat actor. But then he was, kind of ostensibly killing himself in large portions of his life at the same time. So he overcame a whole lot and became this ripped toned super athlete, shredded 0% body fat guy, so he could play a superhero. And I do remember even when he was in the gym and he'd gotten in shape, he was like, I feel like a complete D-bag doing this, but my brother said I had to, just because it shows people in a similar situation that you can do something about it. And he posted a picture of himself being all like, gains, bro, sick, shredded, ripped, whatever. But even he, a movie star that plays a superhero, was more... he was less forthcoming with his gym photos than Donald Trump Jr.
It's so funny, man.
Yeah. Good thing is, though, Donald Jr. and Vanessa are keeping united front for the sakes of their kids. They were hanging out during... didn't they get together and do something Easter eggy for the kids a couple days ago during Easter?
I think they did something. I can't remember what it was. Did they go to the White House deal? Did the egg roll? I don't remember what they did.
I don't know, but I mean, I would imagine he wouldn't miss out on opportunities to get some extra protein. Easter gains, bro. Okay, Travis. What do you suppose, the complete opposite of being fit, what do you suppose the most popular comfort food in all of America is? Because we tackle big and important issues on this show. Like, I was looking at the whole situation with Donald Trump saying we should pull out of Syria early, and a lot of people going, what are you, insane? We just sort of beat ISIL back, and now you're going to create that power vacuum, and we know what happens with ISIL and power vacuums, and it's a very serious issue that we need to address, but I kind of don't have the energy for it today. So let's instead talk about the most popular comfort foods in America and get to the whole ISIL power vacuum thing. Maybe later on in the show, maybe tomorrow. Is that fair? That's fair, right?
It seems fair enough. I mean,
yeah.
It's more fun to talk about food than ISIS anyways, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. ISIL in Syria, or what kind of food makes us the most comfortable? Have a guess, see what you think the most popular comfort food in America is, and we'll run the list down, the top 10 list. Because, like I said, we tackle big and important issues around here a little later on in the show. What's your go-to comfort food?
Oh, God. Everything. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to... It's... Somebody in the tugboat had nachos earlier. And I was talking, oh my God. And I was telling my captain how much I love gas station nachos. Have you ever had gas station nachos?
No, in fact, I kind of don't.
Oh, that's right. You're lactose intolerant.
No. I can eat cheese. It's very strange. I don't know why. Like, I went out and got frozen yogurt the other day, and some frozen yogurt has absolutely no dairy in it whatsoever, and I can have it and be happy. And then this place that I went to, Menchie's. You ever been to a Menchie's?
Menchie's. No, I've been to like the Froyo. I've been to. There's a few of them around Houston. I've never heard of Menchie's.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. And I went to this one, Menchie's, and like I couldn't remember if it was the kind that wrecked my stomach or not. So I just kind of rolled the dice on that one, ate a bowl of the stuff, and I was like, and now we wait. I was like, oh, it's the bad kind. I better get home and get home quickly.
Oh my God. Oh, that sucks.
So like some of that stuff messes me up, but I can have all the cheese I want to have, and it never ever bothers me. But like I just make it a point not to put food in my mouth that comes from a gas station.
My God.
Walmarts and gas stations. I'm not like
that's some of the best food I've ever had. I love gas station food.
If it's like jerky that's already prepackaged, then I'll eat it. But it's those hot dogs that are spinning on the little thing that have been there since the dawn of freaking time. Like a hot dog that's 2 years younger than God is standing there. No, I will not be consuming that.
No, I won't eat that. I will eat the heck out of the gas station nacho machine. Oh my God, dude. I absolutely love gas station nachos. And yes, I'm aware that cheese has been sitting in that like heated machine for probably days. Oh my God.
Are you also aware that it's unbelievably generous of you to be referring to that orangey substance as cheese?
I'm sorry, cheese product. It's so good, and like nobody's like minding how much you use. Like you can use the whole bag. You can put the whole bag on your chips. Like nobody's going to say a word to you about it. I've had the human come over and install a second bag because like it was near the end of its life, you know. So they're like, "Oh, sweetie, let me get the next one out for you." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, thank you." You know, I thought they were going to yell at me because I've got like half a bag on my nachos. Oh my God, dude, I absolutely love gas station nachos. They're amazing.
No kidding.
Oh
wow,
that's my comfort food. At least
you know what I really like that you can I love the Fixins bar at Cafe Express. If you're in Houston, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not in Houston, I don't know where else they have them, but like the Fixins bar at Cafe Express, otherwise known as the "there's no need to shop for Parmesan cheese ever again" bar. Like
really,
just oh my gosh, yeah. Like they've got all these sort of, you know, sun-dried tomatoes and all these different forms of dressing and pickles and 3-bean salad type things, and then they've got like a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and the idea is you're supposed to like put a little bit on and then go on your merry way, or put them in this little container and take them with you. But I've seen people take the full to-go container, like something that would hold easily a couple pounds of food, and basically like move all their food to one side and fill the rest of the container, probably about a half a pound of Parmesan cheese. It's like, I've never been audacious enough to do that stuff, but I've seen other people do it, and part of me thinks it's theft. The other part of me kind of admires them for taking advantage of the times in life when the ball rolls their way.
Oh wow, I had no idea. Like don't get me wrong, I love Parmesan. I mean, who doesn't?
Unlimited cheese. And it's the good stuff too. It's not like the dry, it's like, it's grated Parmesan cheese. It's good. Cafe Express. And they have unlimited breadsticks too. You could go get unlimited cheesy breadsticks basically. Oh my God. And nothing's stopping you. You know, so you remember that place, Burritos?
Yeah. Oh, I love Burritos. Yeah.
Burritos is actually delicious. And I worked with Burritos for about a year. And Burritos food was really, really good. And I wrote a series of jingles for Burritos, which I, like to this day, some of my best work, I think. But I wrote this one jingle for Burritos where, see, I went in there a bunch of times to eat, and then I realized that they had, like, some of these places, all you can eat ice cream, like the little, so like if you got a meal, you could get all you could eat ice cream. But then I also noticed that they had a soda fountain with root beer in it. I was like, unlimited root beer, unlimited ice cream, unlimited root beer floats at Burritos, like freaking fantastic. And I talked about that in the ad, and they're like, dude, you stop. Like, people are coming in and ordering like a taco and then sitting there eating root beer floats for hours at a time. Like, oh my God. We admire your advertising being effective, but ixnay.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, if you want, you can get unlimited root beer floats at Burritos now. Now you know.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Should we do a little bit of news and then we'll talk about America's number one comfort food?
We should.
Oh, I was just like, I guess I should name mine, but I can't think what my go-to would be. I don't know if I have a version of your gas station nachos.
Oh my God, gas station nachos.
For a while there, I was kind of existing on the John Wayne diet, like black coffee and red meat. And I do miss that. Like I didn't feel any ill effects, and the doctor didn't say anything, but I just intrinsically felt I shouldn't be a 3 steak a day guy. Like,
it seems like it could be unhealthy.
It seems like it could be unhealthy, and so I don't eat nearly as much red meat anymore. But I was doing that, and occasionally I miss it. Occasionally I miss like just ridiculous amounts of red meat. I got to tell you, man, this has nothing to do with anything. It certainly has nothing to do with comfort food. I don't know if I could ever do it, but you were vegan for how many years?
Oh God, like 15. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I was vegan for about 12 years, and I wasn't a vegan for humanitarian reasons, really. But when I thought about where the meat came from, it didn't want to make me eat meat anymore. But lately I've been having a really difficult time with it, because it's just like, I love Milhouse so much. I love my puppy so much. And, like, pigs are really freaking smart. Like, I've seen pigs at dog shows competing, doing all the same things that dogs do. And then, getting belly rubs and stuff and loving life. And it's making me feel uneasy about the concept of ham and bacon. You know what I mean?
And you
like,
just had a ham. Really, you just had a huge ham for Easter.
I just had a huge ham of regret is what I had. And like, it was delicious, but I'm really kind of mentally wrestling with it. I don't know if I could ever give up meat again, but I don't know. Sadly, there's no half stepping with this stuff. I mean, you can make conscientious decisions about, the manner in which the meat you eat is raised and all of the above, but ultimately it's still killing a sentient being that likes belly rubs just as much as Milhouse so you can have breakfast. And I'm getting to be less okay with that. Like, it's a whole... I'm really genuinely beginning to struggle with this, and I don't know if I could ever give up meat again. Like, when I gave up meat the first time, I was anemic for long periods of my life and would get head rushes and almost pass out. And I don't know but I've genuinely been struggling with this recently. When you stop being vegan, do you ever get like pangs of regret eating animals?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't justify it in any way, but about the only meat I really eat is cow and chicken, which, again, it's meat, and I understand that. I do love bacon, but I don't really like ham. I don't really like pork. But yeah, I do kind of feel bad because, I mean, cows are awesome, and chickens. My mom has pet chickens, so I mean, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can open, worms everywhere.
Sometimes you just know you're done. You're longing for that shining sun. You walk these streets most every day. You're waiting to get washed away. Radio. 104.1.
Now, more AD on the radio.
So, you and I, deciding that we've been a scotch fatigued on serious news over the last couple of weeks, have decided to forego the festivities that would usually take place on this show, where we'd go, all right, well, President Trump wants to pull out of Syria early. People are saying that's going to create a massive ISIL power vacuum, and we know what happens when there's massive ISIL power vacuums. This is real. This is scary. This is something we should talk about. Nah. We've had enough of that sort of thing for a little bit. We'll get to that tomorrow. We'll get to that some other time. Today, we're going to talk about America's favorite comfort foods. What do you suppose is the top comfort food in America? Travis, you're going gas station nachos? That's your favorite. You don't think that it's America's favorite?
No, and I don't even know that it's my favorite. I think probably changes with my mood, or what I'm passing. But I mean, gas station nachos are just one of those things that I absolutely love. America's favorite comfort food. I don't know. it almost makes me want to think something like mashed potatoes or mac and cheese or something. Like,
dude, you know what I love?
What?
Have you ever had a pannekuchen?
I'm sorry?
Oh, so there's a Beastie Boys line. Beastie Boys are my favorite band of all time.
Of course.
There's a Beastie Boys lyric that goes, sometimes I like to brag, sometimes I'm soft-spoken, and when I'm in Holland, I eat the pannekuchen. For years after having heard that, I went, what is the pannekuchen? Is like, what exactly is this? And I'll never forget when I was in the Midwest once, there's an entire restaurant called Pannekuchen. And what a pannekuchen is, have you ever had a Dutch baby pancake?
No, I've never even heard of it.
So it's a Dutch take on the American pancake, although I would imagine that the Dutch pancake came first, with, history and whatnot, and the fact that the country's significantly older than America. But so a Dutch baby is sort of like an iron skillet pancake. Somehow it's a little bit deeper and fluffier and perhaps a little eggier in taste. It's sort of like French toast is compared to a pancake. And that's a Dutch baby. But pannekuchen is when, and you can only, I think these restaurants are only in the Midwest. And if you've been to one of these places, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Feel free to tweet me so we can just talk back and forth about how delicious pannekuchen are. At ADSXE is where you can do that. And I will happily discuss pannekuchen with you forever. It's so delicious. It's basically like this massive pancake with apple pie filling on top of it.
What?
But it's a little fresher. It's not so cooked, and so like it's chopped up apples, kind of soft baked with cinnamon and then crystallized sugar on top and butter, and you can add a little maple syrup to it if you want. It is there. I just decided that's my comfort food of choice. Apple pannekuchen. So good.
It sounds
amazing.
amazing.
I never would have known about it had it not been for the Beastie Boys. Another reason for which we are very grateful for the skills of Ad Rock, Mike D, and MCA. And I believe it was Mike D that said, when I'm in Holland, I eat the pannekuchen. But if you get a chance, pannekuchen. Now, I don't think that this obscure Dutch breakfast food is necessarily super high on the list of America's favorite comfort foods, but we shall see when we get into it in a little bit. We're going to do some news, but first I wanted to play you this. Bon Jovi played a show in Dallas, up the road from where Travis is in Houston last week, and a local band of high schoolers called The Contagious opened up for him, which I think is pretty cool. I think there were national competitions where people could, and look, it's not like Bon Jovi needs the help selling tickets. Like, he'll be just fine. The guy's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's been selling out stadiums for the past 35 years or thereabouts. But he was just giving local bands an opportunity to open up for a stadium full of his fans. And in this case, a local band of high schoolers called the Contagious got to open up for him. Have a listen.
New York City's pretty nice, but to Phoenix you can get so high. She said that I'd get nowhere. I said I'm already there, 'cause I want you here. I need to hear Sedona, Sedona.
It's not bad, right?
It's not bad at all, actually. I kind of
not bad.
That's
for a bunch of high school
band?
kids. That's a Dallas band. A bunch of high school kids from Dallas who got to open up for Bon Jovi. And you know what? It's funny. Like, other people that haven't spent a lot of time in Texas might not necessarily think this, but I hear that and I think intrinsically a Texas band. There's just immediately I'm thinking of Tripping Daisy and the Toadies when I hear that. You know, and there's some sort of like primordial rock thread that runs through a lot of Texas music, and that band has it in spades. But what I really like, I thought it was super cool. Bon Jovi played this show in Dallas. The Contagious, a high school band from Dallas, got to open up for him. And since it was a school day, John Bon Jovi wrote them a note to get out of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
really
hilarious.
cool. To whom it may concern, please excuse the members of The Contagious. And then he lists all of them from being absent. On Monday, March 26th, they were busy being my opening act in Dallas, Texas at American Airlines Center. And then he wrote in hand, and kicking butt. Sincerely, John Bon Jovi.
I guarantee you they didn't appreciate it. I guarantee you the school district was like, well, this is not going to be acceptable.
You never know, because like Bon Jovi's been around for forever and a day, so there's a very good chance that one of the Contagious's teachers like lost their virginity in a parking lot after a Bon Jovi show or something like that.
Oh my God!
They're like, I too have happy memories to the music of Bon Jovi. Class dismissed.
That's crazy. So the question is, do you think the kids were like, you know what, I'll take the unexcused absence and keep this note? Or do you think they turned it in?
If the teacher had any heart whatsoever, they would have let him keep the note afterwards. It's amazing. Well played, Bon Jovi. Well played.
Leave the stimulation to the professionals.
Everyone is so smart.
KPRC, more stimulating talk radio.
There's something happening here, and you should know what it is. The dumbing up of America. Now, more AD on the radio.
So what is America's favorite comfort food? Because, as you and I have discussed in the past, we tackle big and important and weighty issues around here. We'll get into that a little later on in the show. Right now, though, Travis, did you catch this guy, Derek Holland? He's a pitcher for the Giants. That is not his only talent, though. Did you hear that opening day, he did a dugout interview, did the whole thing as Kermit the Frog?
Oh, my God. Did they air it?
It's really good. They aired it, and it's almost better than the guy who's currently doing Kermit the Frog. Check this out.
The thing is here, we're trying to watch a great game of baseball. There is the Giants. They are up 1-0. And, it's been an exciting day here. It's a little cold, but that's all right. We'll carry on from here.
Kermit doesn't wear any clothes, so that's a little tough at AT&T Park.
Well, yeah, see, when it's cold out there, well, we'll just keep it at it. There's a lot of kids that are watching.
It's not easy being green, is it?
Nope, definitely not. You blend in with the grass, and people don't pay attention to you.
It's amazing, right?
That's incredible. Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, Derek Holland, pitcher for the Giants, better Kermit than the guy who's currently Kermiting Kermit. All right. Let's do a little bit of news. What's going on in the world?
69% of Americans have had sex in a risky place.
Define risky place. You mean like a Kardashian's bedroom? Because that does sound risky.
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. I am decidedly unadventurous when it comes to that stuff. No, not wild, not crazy, not swinging, not adventurous, not interested in a situation where I might get caught or publicly shamed or humiliated or arrested or exposed. No, thank you. No, thank you very much. Go on.
Clueless star Stacey Dash has dropped out of the congressional race in Southern California.
Oh, why did she all of a sudden remember she was Clueless star Stacey Dash? Because that would explain a couple of things. By the way, if this affects your vote, you gave up on America. Go on.
Health officials are calling the new condom challenge fad dangerous.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what's interesting is it's being called the new condom challenge fad. It's where teenagers inhale a condom through their nose. It's nothing to do with the intended purpose of a condom. It's nothing to do with getting busy. But it's where teens inhale a condom through their nose and pull it out of their mouth. This is not new. I'll never forget being a kid at home watching TV in England and seeing This guy was part of the original lineup of Lollapalooza back in the day, the Lollapalooza tour. Did you ever see that guy, Jim Rose? I think he's still on tour today. Jim Rose and the Jim Rose Sideshow Circus.
No, never even heard of him.
He would do things like staple dollar bills to his head and all sorts of weird stuff. And you ever seen that? He was in an episode of X-Files. Like, there was a whole episode of X-Files based around Jim Rose and the Jim Rose Sideshow Circus. And one of the guys in the Sideshow Circus was this dude called the Enigma. And he had his he had his whole body shaved, and it was all tattooed in the shape of puzzle pieces, and he was getting each puzzle piece filled in, and now I think he's completely tattooed from head to toe. But he was like, you remember who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So they did the condom challenge. I remember seeing them on TV when I was in middle school, watching TV, and on it comes their Jim Rose Sideshow Circus on this English TV show called The Word, and they did all sorts of weird ass stuff like that, and they called it nasal flossing when they pulled the condom through the nose and pulled it out their mouth. But this is now being called the new condom challenge, and I guess with the advent of the internet, kids are doing it, and it's supposed to be dangerous, could cause suffocation or strangulation or something like that, and people are saying it's just remarkably stupid. I don't know. Maybe it's the perfect way to cleanse the palate before eating Tide Pods. What the hell? Like, why? Just why would you? I don't know. All right.
I don't know.
When I was a kid and I saw somebody do it on TV, I was like, that's for them to do.
Let's get you at a brain.
At no point did I ever think, I'm going to shove a condom up my nose and see if I can pull it out of my mouth. Like, that was... although I did once when I was a kid swallow 2 dimes and a nickel to see if I could poop out a quarter. I could not.
Wow.
Go on.
Okay.
But I was significantly younger.
I hope so. That's interesting. Okay. A man called the helpline on the back of his 30-year-old Super Nintendo console and actually reached a technician who was able to help him troubleshoot the issue.
This is all over the internet. This is basically getting Nintendo the reputation of having the greatest customer service ever. Like, because the thing's from, the 80s, like the late 80s, and he was still able to help get it troubleshooted. Troubleshooted? What's the... I don't know. But it's pretty impressive on Nintendo's part that they had someone caring enough that would do it. You know, anybody that would get a job doing that sort of thing is probably passionate about gaming in some way, shape, or form. So they're probably like, oh man, this is going to be great. We're going to go through the old Super Nintendo together. It's going to be awesome. Going to love this. Every second of it's going to be pure ecstasy.
Oh my
ecstasy. Here's the thing, though. If you want help with your 30-year-old Nintendo system, you could always just ask the Magic 8 Ball. Go on.
A single ticket sold in New Jersey matched all 5 numbers of the $521 million Mega Millions jackpot.
You know, there's experts that say winning the Mega Millions jackpot or the Powerball or something where you win hundreds of millions of dollars. There's many, many experts that have said this will not bring you happiness. But you have to remember, these are experts who never hit the Powerball. Like,
Very true.
They don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's amazing. $521 million. That's insane. Where was it?
It was in Jersey.
Yeah, little is known about the winner, other than the fact that they're about to no longer live in New Jersey.
Oh, that's the truth. Oh, my God. A reality show helped police locate a missing Texas girl.
Oh, well, good. Well, if you're keeping track, if you're keeping score, that brings the tally to inspiring acts of positivity thanks to reality shows 1, deplorable acts of malice thanks to reality shows 8,454,235. Go on.
Larry King wants the Second Amendment repealed.
Spoken like a man who has a lot of angry ex-wives. Go on.
Arnold Schwarzenegger underwent emergency heart surgery.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah. Do we know if he's okay?
He is okay. At least for now he is. He appears to be recovering just fine.
I mean, he's old, right? How old is he now?
Like 70.
He's like 70. So, like, there's probably going to be a bunch of people being like, that's what you get for, like, doing steroids in your 20s, like a heart situation in your 70s. But literally, I don't know what age it is, but after a certain age, maybe I think it's 80 or something like that. When you die, they don't call it, after a certain age, they don't call it dying of old. They don't call it dying of cancer or a heart attack. They just call it dying of old age because statistically speaking, something's got to go sometime, right? And Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't at that stage yet, but there's so many people who are probably jumping all over this being like, see, it's not healthy to carry around all that extra weight as a bodybuilder. See, those steroids take their toll and all that sort of stuff. And who knows? And the two things may or may not be connected, but
yeah, everything I've seen, I think what I've read on it was a defect. It had nothing to do with any of that.
Well, at least that's the official story, being used to cover up the fact that Skynet was upgrading him to a T-1000.
Oh man, oh that's funny. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the story about the rapper DMX?
Huh? Oh,
did you see this?
I think so. Yeah. I think I know where you're going with this. Go on.
He was sentenced to a year in jail over tax fraud. And his attorney forced the courtroom to listen to his song Slippin'.
Oh, I love that song.
In hopes of convincing the judge to be lenient on the sentencing.
Was the judge lenient?
Well, his attorney thinks that he was. He says that he believes the judge was taken by the song. Prosecutors were asking for 5 years on the charge. He ended up getting a year in jail.
That way. Oh, hold on. I gotta see if I can. Now I really want to hear the song. Oh, all thanks to the soulful allure of this.
Hey, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling. I can't get up. Hey, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling. I can't get up. Hey, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling. I got to get up. Get back on my feet so I can dance. Hey, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling. I can't get up.
You know, we laugh now.
I can't get up. Hey, yo, I'm slipping, I'm falling. I got to get up. Get back on my feet so I can dance.
We laugh now, but I remember when I heard that song, I thought that was some deep stuff when it came out. And, just because DMX was this sort of angry, thugged out dude that if you were hanging around the parts of New York where I was hanging around, that whole sort of Yonkers, north side of New York City, DMX Rough Riders clique was a real thing, and for him to be revealing his feelings on a track was seen as being some heavy sorts of stuff. But you know what? I probably would have. No, I wouldn't have granted him any leniency whatsoever because how many times has he been in and out of jail at this stage in the game? You pay taxes. That's what the hell you do. None of us like to do it, but we all do it. It's legal theft, but until the law is changed, that means DMX has to do it as well.
Yeah. 47 years old. He's been arrested over 30 times in his life. Yeah. It's amazing.
Wow. All right. Well, shall we talk a little bit about America's favorite comfort foods?
Yes, we should.
Well, there's nothing wrong with eating comfort foods when you're stressed out. In fact, I'm pretty sure that when your tears land on top of gravy, it helps to activate the flavors. But these are the 10 most popular comfort foods in America. And at number 10, I don't know why I didn't think this because I always want this when I'm not feeling so hot, when I'm under the weather, tomato soup all the way. And at number 9, chili. Now, chili is a tough one because I always think I want chili and then I make chili. And then the thing is, when you make chili, there's no half stepping with that. You got to make yourself a pot that's going to last you a week and a half. And that first bowl of chili is exactly what you want, but then you've got to eat your way through 2.5 pounds of chili before and so by the end of the week, you're like, no chili for another year. And at number 8, mashed potatoes. That makes perfect sense. Grilled cheese, and at number 7. Oh, now put those hands together and combine it with number 10, tomato soup. A grilled cheese sandwich dunked in tomato soup, and all of a sudden, all is right with the world. And at number 6, mac and cheese.
Yes.
Followed by pasta at number 5. French fries. Now, that's an interesting one. I don't know if I'd call that a comfort food, but I definitely feel like there's times where, that place Red Robin?
Oh, dude, I love Red Robin.
Bowl of French onion soup and the never-ending basket of fries.
Oh, and you can upgrade to the sweet potato fries. Oh, God.
Yeah, so good. So good. Number 3, fried chicken. I love fried chicken. It's delicious, but I don't really consider it to be a comfort food because I'm always filled with regret after the 3rd or 4th piece. And I need to take a shower. Like, comfort food to me, you can take a nap right afterwards. Number 2, burgers. And in at number 1, the America's favorite comfort food is, you want to take one last guess at it, Travis?
Not a clue.
Pizza. There you go. Now you know. I'm off to have myself a slice. We'll be back tomorrow and do it all over again.